I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head, constantly thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go.
Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel. There's your home for tech, toys, and talk. And of course, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for an unbox. This is a mother load of an unbox. What could I possibly mean? Well, I think for a little bit of background, let's go to previously on Dave's Dimension.
Zach, I'm the electrical engineer on the HASLAB team at Hasbro.
And there we are. We have two in the box right here in the flesh. So tell us about it.
All right, well, I'll start with the PKE meter right here. This is what we call our final engineering prototype. So this is not quite what you're going to receive, but aside from these numbers printed in the front, you probably will not be able to tell the difference. So I'll give you front, I'll give you side, so you can get some nice views. It is beautiful. I'm not going to highlight the electronics today because this is not final code in this model. But this is the real physicals, and if we hit the switch on the back, you do get the wonderful Tase mode from Afterlife and the latest movie, which I just...
Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire. I keep saying Fallen Empire. I apologize.
Yeah, same difference, right?
It's awesome. We've got the switch on the bottom. It's a quarter 20 there if you wanted to put it on a tripod or something and just leave it freestanding. And then down on my hip here is the holster that comes with it. We did reach that tier, so that actually wasn't a tier. That's just included. Yep. There it is. On my other hip here, we have our wonderful new Ghost Trap, also on its holster, which is nice.
It holds it on there tightly. Nice.
Nice positive contact. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Actually, if you want to reach out with your offhand to get a sense of the weight,
ooh, that's good.
It's a great weight, but I can still say, even with it being this heavy, thank you, Cloud. Even with it being this heavy, I've had it on my hip for most of the day today. My hip is still here. I can still walk. Everything is great.
Right there. I love the labels being right there on top.
Absolutely. Got them everywhere.
Is there a spirit
Withering?
inside?
Not at the moment. We haven't been catching today.
I haven't caught anything today.
I can actually show you. Nice and empty.
It's empty inside.
And
awesome.
This screen here falls right out. So you know, if you have any Twinkies or anything you wanted to carry around, they'd...
So yeah, that's right, guys. Two in a box. The second Ghostbusters HASLAB that has funded is finally in our hands, and we're going to do an unbox. I'm sure you've seen 100 unboxes already. But let's face it, guys. You guys know I'm a maniac about Ghostbusters. And I'm going to show you guys my thoughts, my opinions on this. So what do you say we get going? Two in a box, ready to go. We be fast and they be slow. Let's go ahead and get this done, guys. Let's go. So yes, we're going to do two cameras here. All right. Now, as you guys can see, this is a pretty good size box. There you go. It's a good size box, guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix the camera just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Okay, guys. Now, I was able to get this out of its box within box within box. I love that they gave us the nice little representation of the faux lockbox. You know, we get evidence. Let's take a look at the evidence label. Judge Stephen Wexler. Of course, this was the judge from Ghostbusters 2 when the guys were arrested in the beginning of Ghostbusters 2. And Lewis is trying to defend them. We get a nice little pink slime effect on the box. Very cool. Inspected by W. Zeddemore, of course. Winston is Mr. Moneybags now, so of course he gets to do that. Please return all equipment to the storage. This means you, Peter. Janine. Gotta love that. Do not look directly in a trap, of course. So this is cool. I like the... Sorry. I'm doing a temporary fix with the GoPro. Apparently my Elgato is completely fried. It's not working whatsoever. So we have this. I like the faux look, but I've seen, obviously everyone's seen the videos. I would like to get a box with these specific dimensions, no pun intended, so that we can recreate what this box is supposed to represent. But let's say we're going to cut right into the tape. Come on. There we go. I don't know why I'm being careful. Let's be honest. Box is going to get destroyed anyways. I'm not going to keep this box. So I know some people who will. Those who are flippers. Those who like presentation. So we get two boxes. One is obviously the trap. It doesn't say which one is which. Just says ghost trap and PKE meter. Right there, guys. Ooh, that was a bit of work. Let's go ahead and jump to split screen right there. Okay, so guys, you can see right there, tuna box, ghost trap, PKE, and it looks just oh so sweet. I'm gonna open that up right there, and there goes the other camera. Sometimes I think I need a bigger desk, guys. Sometimes. So, to get all of our goodies, we're going to take a look at that in just a second. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. So, of course, we get our little stand, which, honestly, I'm excited to play with this because I plan on doing things with this. Not, hey, watch it. No, I plan on doing some paint mods to this. And there is the very cool team, you know, the We Are Ghostbusters Germany. They have an amazing file that you can print where you can actually have this hanging, or I think it's this way. You can actually have this mounted on the wall so you can have your trap hanging, which I think is pretty damn cool. Now, there is a little bit of like some faux weathering right here. A little bit of dry brush, if you will. You know? But I could definitely see myself repainting this. We have little springs right here. So, these little, like, train stoppers right here are actually functional. So that's cool. I'm going to set that off to the side. And yes, it does have the V-hook that we all know and love. Okay, we get our trap hose right here. We're going to take a deeper look at that in a little bit. And, of course, we get our patches. I've had my own considerations, my own views, opinions of the patches myself. But we'll take a nice deep look at it. So here we are. And as you saw in the video, I actually got to hold this equipment last GB Day in New York City. So what do we get here? Well, now this trap gives you the options of being both Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2. So let's go ahead and get the bag out. Oh man, yeah, this has so much heft, but it feels so good in the hands. Honestly, this feels like a damn prop. It really does. Now, I have heard of people complain about the handle, that they think the handle could be damaged, could cause damage over time, because this is after all plastic. Okay, guys, this part is definitely plastic. There is metal and heft to a lot of this. A lot of this feels, it feels like you have like here, the panels right here definitely are metal. The weight of the bottom, because these are die-cast wheels. Okay, they're meant to look like a ball bearing, as you guys can see right there, but it's just a solid wheel. Technically, they're supposed to be ball bearings, like you would see on skateboard wheels or roller skates, right? But the weight on this, I love. We got the little speaker. We got the little speaker port right there. The wheels roll as they should, and it's not just like one single wheel moving. When you move one, they're both moving. We got our V hook right here, and oh man, I've had the spirit traps before. I have one spirit trap that's rigged up, or should I say the Walmart trap, that is rigged up to a foot pedal. So it does open and close on its own. With respect, this is not something I consider wearing to a con. This is something I'm going to keep on my shelf. Now, if I'm at a con doing a booth or something, I might consider bringing this for display purposes, But aside from as far as wearing this on the holster and wearing it as cosplay, no. One, it only anyone who's ever been to a con, who's ever worn props in a cosplay, that people will bump into someone will bump into one person, that person bumps into 3 other people, and then 4 people bump into you by accident. This goes flying and gets damaged. Do you really want that? Plus the weight of this. If you ever been to a con, the weight of your equipment and your cosplay can wear, at first it feels fine, but then 2 or 3 hours into it, 4 or 5 hours into it, it wears you the hell down. But I love the weathering on here. We get some good scratch weathering right there. They definitely stepped up their weathering process from the Proton Pack, and I'm sure they learned a lot with the Proton Pack as well. One thing I love is that with the Proton Pack, they designed it knowing that the Ghostbuster fan base would be modding it, and I'm pretty sure they did the same thing here. The emitter light on here looks fantastic. Everything feels centered. All the actual the cap head screws, they all look great. Even the bars, the red bars on here look fantastic. They did a hell of a damn good job on this. The light, the toggle. Let's see, there you go. Because we got a little trigger mechanism right here, which is going to allow us to pull the cartridge out. Yes. For the first time ever, you have a trap you can buy from a major or manufacturer that is already pre-assembled, pre-painted, pre everything, and you can actually take the cartridge out. Now, I can't speak to Maddie because I've never had the Maddie trap or the Maddie collector items except for a couple action figures, so I can't speak to that. But there you go. We got the little release right here. And I like the weathering that they have on here. A little faux weld on here. A little faux welding. Let me see if I can... you guys can see a close-up right there. Looks really good. Looks fantastic. But I like the fact that this just slides right out. And, the only weights really in here is, right here. It's, right in the bottom here. Now, this is also where we put our batteries. That's right, guys. Batteries. So, what do you say? I break out a screwdriver, and we're going to break out some batteries. There we go. Do. Now, guys, I will say this. Don't force the screws. If your screwdriver... if the head of it is too big or too small, just find the right size one. Make sure you're not going to cause any damage, and you don't have to put a ton of force to screw the screws back in. Just enough so that the lid is on there tight. Let's go ahead and there you go. So it's alive. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now, there's already a lot of people who are doing mods, selling replacement plates. You can get them on like GB Fans, Etsy, eBay, so many different, any Ghostbuster Facebook group, you're going to find a ton of people who are doing mods. Some people have been doing stuff to like change the emitter pattern. Did you guys hear that? I think those are the mini puffs. So yeah, you got a lot of different stuff you can play around with. There are different switches. Also, these bars, you can swap them out. And we can swap them with the silver ones, which will unlock their own set of ghosts that we can manipulate and cycle through for sounds. Now, you might be asking yourself, Dave, what's the other stuff in the bag? What's in the box? Okay, these are little faux rubber collectors or protectors for the coaxial, the little threaded knob. And here's another one for the port on the pedal. But right now, there's nothing on here. So let's go ahead and put the silver bars in. Okay, there we go. Now, of course, we can sit here all day and play with that. Let's see here. I like the lights in here. We get like the all metallic aluminum brightness. Now, they did have little deep wall in there, so you can put your own smoke kit in there if you really want to. Of course, the knobs on the back of it also do a bunch of different changes here. I'm gonna oh, there we go. Different pattern change. Little Knight Rider thing going on. There you go, a little overload. And of course, it's going to take a while for me to unlock all the secrets. But how awesome is this? I mean, if you're a Ghostbuster fan, this is killer. So we're going to let that sit off to the side for right now. Just going to let the sounds play in the background. It's going to be freaking hilarious. So here we are. We have a GB1 patch, of course. Well, Hasbro's version of a GB1 patch. We have the mini puff patch. Ghostbusters Engineer patch, of course. There you go. We have the 2-in-a-box HASLAB patch, which will go nicely with this patch that I already have in my hands. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Yep, we already have the Ecto HASLAB patch, so the two will go nicely together. Although I think I am partial to the Ecto patch. This one did not come with this. I actually got this through some very good friend of mine. So, you know, I love patches. I have a whole patch collection. In fact, I think I'm going to throw a picture right there of my little frame of patches. There we go. So we're going to set these aside, put them back in their bag. Let's take a look at the other goodies here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Ghostbusters of all ages. A little bit of plastic, a little bit of rock and roll. So we get a very cool Zeddemore Industries. See if I can get this open. There we go. It's a almost transparent kind of a patch. You can see the barcode coming all the way through. Of course, we have the Winston Zeddemore business card design on the back. And we get Ghostbuster Engineering, GB 0305 87 1901. These almost look like IP addresses. Anyone who's into computers? There you go. Kind of resembles an IP address. I know the first segments do not, but something kind of cool. We get these Zener ESP cards. Of course, these are much. It's not the full set, but it's nice and fun that you of course, sponsored by Raise the Cult Books. When Venkman is holding up the card, asking the girl and the guy to guess which one. Of course, he was letting the pretty girl win every single time. So there we go. We get our little Zener cards. And I'm not sure how I'm going to display these. What I think I might do is some of this stuff I might actually put in a frame and hang it up. But I like the card stock. It's not bad. It's nice. Got a little texture to it. We got our wavy lines, our plus, our circle, our square, and of course our star. There we go. Set that off to the side. Bob's your uncle. Everyone has an Uncle Bob. Sometimes a cousin. There you go. What we got here? More legal stuff. I don't know if these are not quite instructions. Of course, what would a HASLAB be without some stickers, without some decals of some kind, right? So here we are. We got our Camp Wakanda, Raise the Cult Books, and of course, Stay Puft, and what's the other one? World of the Psychic with Dr. Venkman. There you go. Very cool, guys. Very, very cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, we're going to set that off to the side. You know the side? Set that off, guys. Okay, and of course, right here, this is going to be our instruction blueprints for what to do, how to do. I highly recommend reading through this. I know most people, you're not going to want to read through the instructions, right? I highly recommend you do, because there's been people in the GB community, Ghostbuster fans, who have already gotten to the box and they felt that either they broke the PKE. There is a certain way that you have to manually reset the arms after the taser mode. We're not quite there yet, but that is something. Now this, we get nice stock, actually. Nice good stock of the blueprints for the trap in the PKE, which means with this nice durable material, I hate to say this, but I think I'm going to have to get this framed. So maybe we'll have this as a frame, the background of the frame, and I'll have some of the other items like in front of it. Almost shadow box, but not quite a shadow box. That's one idea I can play around with. I think that would be kind of cool. So, but here we go. We got the 2-in-a-box Ghost Trap and PKE meter. Again, I highly recommend just going through the instructions. Don't just willy-nilly everything. Like here, it shows motor control. So there is a motor on here. I'm probably not going to use it because I'm not a fan of the motor that we had on the Proton Pack, let alone some of the other items. So it shows you how to do all the instructions, what they do. And now you do need 4 AA batteries for the ghost trap. But let's move on. Let's move on to the other box. What do you guys say? So, PKE, right? Now there are different modes, and you would switch between the slider to do that. It's very I love this. I almost wish that there was more of a dial or something on the sides here, so it was a little bit more intuitive on how you can control things. I mean, we got our little energy mode here. Now there are multiple switches. I love how this, we get a nice solid sound on there. It's nice and bright. Do you see what happened there, guys? There's a lot in here. There's even an EMF mode. For those that don't know, electromagnetic frequency. Also, we got our taser mode. How does one do the taser? Little button right here. Now, if you keep doing it, just like in the video, in Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, there's an overload feature on the proton pack and on the wands. That was also carried over to the Spangler wand. We also can overload this as well. It'll shut down. And there you go again. Again, to be careful, you're just bringing the wings down, right? And then snapping them in place, and then you're back in PKE mode. Now, yes, there are a lot of different features on here. I am not going to sit here and go through every single one. There's tons of videos where people are going fully in depth with it, or go ahead and read the instructions, guys, and play around with this stuff. I mean, this is amazing. I love, now, it does take 3 AAA batteries. We do have your atypical threaded port right there. So if you have a tripod or any kind of a camera mount, this will actually display right on there. So you could set up something like that. There is a stand for the PKE. So guys, there is a threaded port on here, so you could set up on a tripod or anything. Let's say maybe you're doing a display of your own, like at a con or something. You could actually just use like a camera thread mount and just have it displayed somewhere, or you can bring the stand with you. I mean, that's always an option. Now, it seems to be going off on its own, or I may actually have this in the I might have actually had it in the EMF mode. I think that's why it was going off. The EMF mode is pretty freaky. A lot of people have been finding that, just walking around their house, they're seeing the PKE go off on crazy, and that's the EMF mode right there, which is pretty insane, right? But I think this is pretty awesome. I'm loving this. I mean, I have to go through all the instructions to learn every little aspect, every little nook and cranny. Okay, it's off. So on here, you want to make sure that you have it on the switched over to the 0 spot, which is going to be the off position. So we're going to set this off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put it in this holster. Now, I don't think I'm going to weather this. I mean, you guys know I love to weather things, but I don't think I'm going to weather this. You never know. Now, here is the stand for the PKE. It's very simple. This and this plug into that. It's not overly crazy, but if I decide to use this, I'm probably going to paint this. You guys know me. I love to paint. I love to modify things. But let's take the piece that is those stones. We get ourselves a pedal. Now, I've had a like a foam one made before. Bought it on Etsy a couple years back. But this, I mean, from the quality of the transistor right there, let me show you guys that right there. This is usually one of the hardest things to kind of get. I believe you can modify this where you can swap this and this so you can have it sideways if that's the thing you want to do. This obviously is the port where the coaxial, I call it a coaxial because it looks like a coaxial port. But here's the other faux cap. We would just place that right over here. And there you go. It looks like, there you go. Now, let's go ahead and break out the pedal wire. This is a nice good feel. Now, this is not screen accurate, obviously, but you know what I'm going to do. That's right, buddy. I'm going to buy the loom and the zip ties, a little bit of electrical tape, red electrical tape, that is, and we're going to make it look more screen accurate because that's just kind of psychotic person I am, There we go. And yes, there is a little threaded cap so you can get this on here. So it's going to be nice and secure. So you guys can just, not that you're really going to be doing that, but you could just dangle it from the other side. And this is good length, by the way. This is a really good length that they did here. So giving us the accuracy as best as we can. Now, the only way I could see myself taking this to a con is if there was going to be a Ghostbuster actor like Ernie Hudson there. That's the only way. Okay. There we go. Full on effect, and we can just drop this in there. See, how am I going to get this? There you go. We can just leave it right there. Let's get the microphone over here. And the response time on here is great. The response on here is fantastic. There you go. Just like in the movie. So we get blinking lights both on the trap and on the pedal in unison. I mean, I don't know what more you could possibly ask for, guys. I know there have been some people in the GB community who've criticized the trap. But I mean, this is the best trap we've probably ever had. Regrettably, I've never had my hands on the Maddie trap, so I can't speak 100% to that. Okay, I can only speak to my experience, which has been, I mean, whoa, there we go. I can only speak to my experience, which has been the Spirit traps, the Walmart trap, which is just a Spirit trap with a pedal. The faux traps, the faux 3D printed plastic ones that just are shell, or the the popcorn buckets, which I actually have a couple of. I'm gonna modify one of them to use as a cosplay trap. Just because it's lightweight and it shouldn't weigh down my trap. I love how the lights are actually pulsing. They're pulsing, going up and down. I don't know if you can really see that here. So there we go. If you close the trap with the pedal, it'll start to do that in sync blinking. But if we just let it kind of time itself out, where it will close, we don't get that. So that tells us, okay, the trap doesn't have a ghost in it, but when we close it, it recognizes that there's a ghost in it. There you go. This is this is phenomenal. I friggin' love this. Now, some people technically have been asking, hey, how do you hang the pedal? Well, technically, if you were to do this the correct way, at least the way it's done in the movies and everywhere else, is pretty much hanging this off of the oh, it triggered itself. So you would hang this, because there is this little faux ribbon cable right here. You would hang this off of, right over like this. And that's how you would do it. You would basically just hang it from your... Oh, there you go. Now we can shut it down. But basically, you would just do, like I said, like this. Hanging right there. You would kind of coil up your wire and just hang it off of there. But I mean, this is... If you were lifted this up yourself, if you were here in person holding this trap, you'd feel how heavy, how durable. I mean, not that you would, but you could really knock somebody out with one of these. But this is so friggin' phenomenal. I have not unlocked any... I mean, I've only seen a few things so far. I have a lot more to unlock. I know people have been putting smoke kits in here. Some people have bought some pre-made kits, and some people are making their own. It all depends. I mean, I know a lot of people who are kind of being pretty smart, at least in my opinion. Some people are waiting a couple months before they do anything because, one, you're going to have people who are trying to do something, and some of them are going to ruin or damage their traps. Give it a couple months for people to fine-tune the upgrade kits. If you really want to do an upgrade, honestly, I think if you really want to do an upgrade, I think the best thing to do is to wait a little bit. Wait until things are properly fine-tuned. I know there are already videos of people who've stripped apart their traps. And just so you know, yes, you can actually take apart the traps. You can remove the panels. You can do a lot of stuff and actually get inside to the electronics. There's a lot of people who've done that already. I say if you're interested in doing that, give it a couple months. Get yourself, wait, do the research. If it's something that's plug and play, go for it. If it's something that requires soldering, maybe get a little practice on soldering if you're not too keen with that. By the way, labels, Mobi signs is my go-to label replacements. Whether it's a HASLAB trap, whether it's a Proton pack, whether it's Spirit Halloween gear, anything and everything out there, Mobi Signs makes an amazing sets. If you want something that's brand new, you want your trap to look brand new, maybe you're going to take some of the parts apart, or should I say take the trap apart, and you want to paint things so it looks perfectly brand new, you could do that. And if you want the labels to do so, I highly recommend reaching out to Moby Signs on Etsy. I am not affiliated with Moby Signs. I'm just a fan of their work. I always go back to him every time I need a new set of labels, whether it's for my pack, my traps, PKE, or anything. He's got some amazing stuff, so you guys do not want to miss out. He's even got some, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe he even has decal sets for cars too. So if you're a Ghostbuster, you're looking to ectify your car, he's got labels for the equipment racks. He's got labels for everything. So go ahead and hit him up. But guys, HASLAB #2 for the Ghostbusters, 2 in a box, ready to go. This is friggin' phenomenal. I mean, I could sit here and just hit the trap pedal all day long. The PKE, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. I gotta start researching what I'm gonna do with this. Because here's the thing with the weight of the trap. Now I live in an apartment building, so I'm not a big fan of drilling holes. So I may try and think of something else. Like I said, there is a file to the We Are Ghostbusters Germany page. They have a 3D file that is basically a mounting bracket for this. So you can literally mount it onto the wall and have your trap on there, which I think is a pretty cool thing. And just to show you guys, this just slides right on. Well, we have the plastic V-hook right here. So that is just going to simply slide onto the trap. I would do that right now, but let's see. Yeah, I can do that. I was thinking the cable was going to get in the way, but no, it's right there. It's just like a train track. We got the little stoppers right there. So, but I really think I want to add some color to this to really make it pop. You know, I've seen people take some Sharpies and do some painting for the Ghostbusters logo right there, which is actually upside down. So there is that. I kind of want to do the. I kind of want to take some of this apart, which you can. We can take the V-hook off. We got some screws right there, so we could take that off. And I kind of want to see what some people are doing already. We can take these rails off, so I could kind of do like maybe a silver finish and then yellow spray paint, doing kind of the hazard icons, hazard striping on it. I think that's something we can easily do. I mean, there's screws everywhere, so we can definitely take this completely apart and paint it. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be so much fun. But guys, I'm seriously, this is friggin' phenomenal. I have a working, well, I had a Walmart trap that I hooked up a pedal, but now this is as screen accurate as you can get without being in the prop department or Ghost Core Sony Studios. This is friggin' phenomenal. Just insane. It is insane. And now I get to scare the crap out of my cats with this stuff. Let's go. But guys, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you don't, let me know in the comment section below.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm